Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today I've got some juicy news on Nvidia's Ampere GPUs, next-gen Ryzen processors are coming soon, 3rd Gen Threadripper is coming even sooner, and Samsung shuts down their custom Exynos SoCs. But first, let's look at a role-playing game done right with today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, an epic dark fantasy that's amassed nearly 15 million downloads in just 6 months. And that's not surprising, because it's a free-to-play game that has over 400 champions to collect with 1 million plus build possibilities, PvP, clan raids, and a fully voiced story campaign. There's even weekly tournaments and events along with new champions that are constantly being added, so you always have something to do. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you'll get 100,000 silver, 2 clan boss keys, 10 mystery shards, and 1 free champion. Check that out in the description below. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, I have a pretty massive story on Nvidia's next generation Ampere GPUs. Now, really quickly, I do want to mention that this is a few days old, but I didn't cover it because it seemed a bit too general and I wasn't sure where it was coming from. Since then, a few other outlets have reported the story, and it seems to come from conversations Nvidia has had with their AIB partners. With that in mind, while it is interesting, just understand that it's definitely more of a rumor at this point. Either way, let's go over it. The story originally comes from WCCF Tech, and first up, it does seem Nvidia's next-gen 3000 series GPUs are set to come in the first half of next year. There's been some earlier rumors suggesting as much, but this certainly sounds more concrete. As for performance, the cards are built on a 7nm architecture and are apparently getting a quote massive boost to ray tracing performance. According to WCCF Tech, the ray tracing cores will be faster and more power efficient. Not only that, but apparently the company is working on an equally big performance boost in rasterization as well. To top it off, Ampere is set to include more VRAM than Turing, which in my opinion is a much needed change. Sure, we've gotten faster memory, but we've yet to really see the amount of memory go up. We'll also see higher clocks and lower TDP, but of course that's to be expected on the new node. One thing that's not expected is that we may actually see prices get lower on the high end. Most cards will apparently cost the same as Turing, but the successors to the 2080 and 2080 Ti will reportedly be a bit cheaper. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll see them get as low as say Pascal, but any drop in price is welcome. All in all, I think Ampere sounds like a pretty big update to Turing with a nice performance jump. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long, though make sure to subscribe to Gamer Meld for updates moving forward. Next up for today, we've got some confirmation on AMD's Ryzen 4000 series of CPUs. During an interview with VentureBeat after AMD's recent earnings call, the CEO Lisa Su confirmed that their Ryzen 4000 series of processors will begin rolling out, quote, in early 2020. She's referring to their mobile processors, and if last year is any indication, they'll likely launch them at CES with some hints for their desktop lineup. To which AMD also confirmed that Zen 3 will be following up after their mobile debut. Remember that mobile Ryzen 4000 chips will likely be based on 7nm Zen 2, but the desktop 4000 series will use the new Zen 3 7nm plus process. Basically, AMD is very much on the move for next year, and they actually expect it to be much bigger than this year was. Here's to hoping they can pull it off. With all of that said, this year clearly isn't over for AMD as they still haven't released 3rd Gen Threadripper. Luckily for us, we have the answer. Video cards reported that the initial date of November 5th, today, has been postponed until the 7th. Of course, with Intel having moved the date for their upcoming Cascade Lake X lineup as well, it's no surprise AMD isn't in a hurry. Still, it's definitely going to be exciting to see what all the company has planned for their big 7nm Threadripper release. Lastly for today, a pretty huge development from Samsung means we can say goodbye to their Exynos mobile processors, or at least the custom in-house built versions. For those who don't know, Exynos chips have been in quite a bit of mobile phones, though if you're in the US, you likely got a Qualcomm-based model. Either way, they have been some fairly powerful flagship CPUs. Well, unfortunately, Samsung confirmed layoffs from a recent Texas workforce commission, and they're part of the company's R&D CPU team. And according to this, the team has been making most of their Exynos chips since 2012. Apparently, Samsung will continue to use the Exynos branding, but they'll be licensed designs from ARM. As far as I could tell, Samsung just couldn't compete with Qualcomm's Snapdragon-based processors, so they threw in the towel. So while that does it for today, what did you think of the news? Excited for AMD's next-gen processors, or what about Nvidia's upcoming Ampere GPUs? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out Raid Shadow Legends in the description. And as always, have a great day.